Hi everyone and welcome to my place. I have a couple of very sick friends and I want to show you the arrangement that I do to take to them, and it's really lovely arrangement for people who actually are bedridden and can't get outside, and I think it's really lovely that just with a little bit of a walk around the garden and just taking and capturing that moment and then putting it into, you could either use a basket like this or you could use a big terracotta pot or even a meat ash, but just something that's nice and low, and you can make it as big or as small for whatever room that you're working with. So I've got this lovely cane basket here, and what I've done is I've just lined it with just a little bit of cellophane, because there's nothing worse than being responsible for leakage and perhaps destroying a nice piece of furniture. Now the other thing I've done is I've just got a block of wet floral foam, and I've just cut that in half and then just put that into there. Now what I did was I went for a wee wander around my garden and I found some blossom. I've got just the very start of the lavenders come out. I went and got this little Pansy or Heart's Ease or whatever it is from the garden centre, and from my garden I found these beautiful yellow violets which I want to use as well. I've also got over here some nice borage, and I've got some couple of flowers over there, some white forget-me-nots which I think are nice, some Fresias, and some little pinks that we'll use as well. Right, there's no hard and fast way of approaching this. There's no golden rule. It's what we're doing is just creating a little bit of something from outside. Now I'm going to use the violets first, and what I've done is I just went into the garden. I'm going to get very dirty hands, and I just actually took the whole thing from the garden and just lifted that, and I'm just going to put that just into there like so that as if they were growing all clumped together. I'll just get rid of that, and I'll wipe my hand before I make an even bigger mess of the floor. Okay, so that's got the soil on it and it's nice and wet, so that will just continue to grow and to produce flowers. The other thing is, when you look, and if you've got anything that's a little bit dead like that, just pull those off, and what I find is it actually gives that sick person a something to do so that they can look at it, and if they've got the strength they can take those little dead heads off, because they will help to make it last a bit longer. Now with this little baby here, all I'm going to do with that is take that and put that into there. So take it out of its pot. Now I've got a couple of bits of blossom, and using the wet foam is really great, because even though the blossom, there's lots of little buds here, there's some open florets here or open blooms, well what will happen is they will just drop off and these next ones will come through, and in the warmth of a room it'll be fantastic to just watch that growing, and then the leaves will come and it'll be something that will go on and on for quite some time. Right, I've got some lavender here, so I'm just going to push that down and into there, just in little wee short clumpy bits. Now with the borage, I absolutely love borage, and if you want to encourage fertilisation in your garden, this is fantastic because the bees just absolutely love and adore it. Oops, and you'll often find too when you're cutting it, you see how that's all splayed like that, like a spring onion? The best way forward if that happens is to just recut that. Don't forget to cut it on a wee slant and then just put that into there, so that it does, as you go through, it will start to look like this little baby garden with all these lovely things. And the same goes for the borage. Just take those little flowers off and it will just encourage the others to just keep coming through. Now waste not, want not is my new way forward. So I'm just going to put that little bit into there as well. Now I've got some lovely clumpy bits of moss that I found underneath the trees down the back. So I'm just going to put that into there. And I'll just bring a little bit more over to this side here. And this, I love this little blue forget-me-not. White forget-me-not. So with that, just cut all those to one length, and then instead of going poke, just clump those in one application so that you're not wasting time. Now, I've got a couple of little Fresias which will give a lovely fragrance in a room, but be very careful with things that are highly fragrant because they can make people quite sick. Now cut those off there, and I'm just going to put those little things just down in there. Look at that, doesn't that just look gorgeous? Beautiful. Now I've got I love these Dianthus. Oh, they're the most beautiful smell of cinnamon. Very special flowers. they can go into there like that in a wee clump, and then just take some just a little bit lower down into there. And I've got a couple of little agapanthus, so I'll use those as well, cutting those shorter again, and they can go into there. So as I said, there is no hard and fast rule, just however you feel like putting the flowers in is how you should do it. And I'll just take these down a little bit further and just make these like a little cushion down into the bottom here, or like a little pillow. Now I've got these which are artificial, but if you had those on bulb, just lift those from the garden, just clean the soil around its wee bulb, and then they could just, whoops, stick into there like so to give a little bit of elevation. And I've got a wee rule for those of you who've been following me, and it is that 1 on its own is lonely, 2's interesting, but 3 can be visually stimulating. Right, I have a little bird's nest here, so I'm just going to put that little bird's nest into there, and I've got a little bit more moss here. So what I'll do with that is I'll just bring that around to there, and I'm going to put a little bit down into there as well. So that's just going to help to keep and maintain that moisture into there. Now I've got a couple of little bits of cut off, I think it's a sycamore, I'm not sure what it was, might even be a bit of birch. I'm just going to put a little bit of that, one of those into there, and then I'll bring that over to there so that it's like a little step. And I've got this gorgeous little baby bird's nest with a couple of little eggs, and I just thought that that little bird could just nestle into there just like that. How fabulous is that for somebody, an invalid that can't get outside? Bring a little bit of something inside for them, and they can have the joys of seeing what you're able to see when you're outside. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you another day.